And we're back. Good morning local time, good afternoon local time, good evening. We are joined today by Trooper from handle.finance. It's a Forex platform on Arbitrum. I love it, sir. Welcome. It's good to have you here. Been watching this thing grow. Been watching you guys put in the hard work over the last year or so, and it's super cool to have you on the Blockmate show. And yeah, welcome.
Thanks for having us, Jedi. It's good to be here, and it's good to be here on a day where ETH is trading 1481 or thereabouts.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday was an interesting day. I think it's probably one of the first times in a long time that, well, it's one of the, like, it's been months really where, you know, crypto Twitter makes a call, the market's going to pump, and then the next day it pumps. So I think everyone's patting themselves on the back. I think most people got caught with their hands in their pockets, but it's all good. It's always nice when the market does its thing. I'm a little bit more bearish. I'm kind of expecting it to retrace, but it might not. I mean, it's, yeah, the winds of pumpage are blowing strong, and I hope it carries on. It was quite phenomenal to watch what ETH did yesterday. I mean, it literally went parabolic on like the 4 hour. It was really cool to see. It's been too long actually. So yeah, man, Trooper, thanks for joining us. I wanted to just get stuck right in, just in terms of what it is that you guys have done. So just for everyone who doesn't know, essentially handle.finance does on-chain Forex trading, you know, but it's unlike, I think for me, when I look at what you guys have created, it's something that really stands out because you've been very mindful of, you know, the user experience, for one, which has been very important for you guys. And it definitely reflects in the fact that you guys have created an amazing desktop for both PC, Mac, and obviously for mobile, which is something that, you know, on the mobile front, I think, as we know, and, you know, you and I have chatted about this in the past before, is that it's something that people, or rather devs, don't really put much effort into. And, you know, as far as I'm concerned, if you are wanting to cater for, you know, a mass market, you've got to go mobile, and you've got to put a lot of attention into that. And you guys have done a great job, and I hope that you can show us from a navigation perspective in terms of what you guys have achieved from a mobile aspect, because I think that for me is probably one of the most like appealing things about what it is that you guys have built. You know, the fact that you've been mindful about the delivery. And I wanted to just kind of kick it off there from your perspective. Like, what was the thinking, you know, in terms of what it is that you guys were planning? But before we get into that, just a short intro. Let me just give you an opportunity to intro what it is that, you know, you guys are doing and where you guys are at, and then we can just get into the detail of what you guys were thinking around mobile versus desktop.
Sure, and thanks again for that. So handle.fi is a protocol that attempts to provide a solution to the global user base that doesn't always want to operate in the DeFi space, always and solely only exposed to US dollars. Neither of us are domiciled or from the US, and you can probably tell that from our accents. Our day-to-day commerce is not necessarily denominated in US dollars, although it is the global reserve at the moment. We all know that, and it is the sort of the currency of exchange, or stablecoin currency of exchange in DeFi. But in saying that, you know, if DeFi is to grow from its current niche state to a much bigger proposition, we're of the view that, you know, users around the world won't always want to do everything using US dollars, or not just solely US dollars, and they won't always want their exposure to be US dollars. I mean, we've got a situation now, obviously, where the USD is very, very strong as compared to other global currencies. but that's not always the case, and things change, and there's just, we think, a strong utility for non-US dollar stablecoins. And then if you add to that that the global FX markets are, I think the number is 6.6 trillion per day in daily trading volumes, 2.4 massiveness, quadrillion, I think, per annum in global trading volumes for TradFi FX. We just think it's a huge opportunity to bring to the DeFi space. So the protocol that we've built really allows users to do 4 core functions in US dollars, but also non-US dollar stable coins. And those core functions are convert easily between different currency stable coins, whether it be our multi-currency stable coins or other issued stable coins, USDC to our US dollar stablecoin fxUSD, or it might be USDC to our euro stablecoin fxEUR, or it might be our fxEUR across to Euro C. We think, over time that the offering of non-US dollar stablecoins will grow. So convert is one. Speculation and hedging or leveraged access to FX markets, we think, serves an important role. Leveraged access to FX allows speculators and traders opportunities to profit, but it also allows DeFi participants, DeFi funds, to hedge different exposures that could grow over time in their portfolios. We allow users to borrow or mint our stablecoins in a range of different fiat denominations. So, as an example, if you're based in Europe and you may want to borrow a large amount of euro against Ethereum collateral, people don't sometimes. There's inherent risks if you're always borrowing in US dollars, and we're seeing that sort of play out in the global finance markets at the moment, where a lot of countries have a lot of US dollar debt, and that's causing them a lot of problems now as their currency falls versus US dollar. So the capacity to borrow in non-US dollar denominated or have non-US dollar denominated debt, I should say, we think is something that, if DeFi grows and over time, will be something that could be attractive to a whole lot of different players in the space. So borrow and convert and trade, and opportunity again to earn. So earn, whether that be providing liquidity or accessing DeFi structured products. Same use case again. You may not always want to do that with US dollar exposure. It may so happen that you could want euro exposure, you could want pound exposure, and some of these stable farms may have earned a large return in currency A, but currency adjusted for the local currency of the user, it may ended up a net loss for the participant. So really looking to serve the global needs. DeFi is a global movement, and looking to provide an opportunity for the global participants to have more options outside of solely engaging in DeFi in US dollars. I think that sort of covers it.
I suppose you did also answer the question around, why go mobile? Because at the end of the day, you are catering for pretty much everyone. It's like you got to be mindful of everyone. If you're looking at kind of like a third world based currency down the line, and you've got someone in kind of like in downtown Cape Town or in Joburg in South Africa, and they're obviously trading in rands or what, it doesn't matter. I mean, the majority of the population is using mobile, and you guys obviously put a lot of effort into that. And what was the thinking? I mean, what was the thinking around when you sat down and you were like, well, how did you guys approach that? Because it's not obviously the biggest challenge from what I've understood, over the years, is like, how do we actually port this thing onto a mobile thing? I mean, how did you guys approach that problem?
Well, there was some interesting. I saw some interesting things on crypto Twitter about some new iOS App Store rules actually related to NFTs, and it was certainly interesting to us around some of the restriction and constraints that these app stores put on some of these DeFi applications. And so, but notwithstanding, we do agree that allowing users to access a whole range of DeFi services via their phone is critical, and is probably the only means or channel of access for a lot of people. But then you have the constraints around the gates, the gated app stores, and being subject to effectively sort of centralized control of the Apples of the world. So we took a sort of very much a web first approach, and built what's called a progressive web app that really is a different way to represent our web application inside a mobile device, which sort of means that we make a few sacrifices with functionality, but what we do gain is, or we remove the constraint or risk around having to deploy to app stores and being, subject to just not being subject to all the rules that we don't necessarily agree with that exist on some of these app stores. So any user can basically use the URL and download our app and not have to go through an app store. And from our end, we can offer our full sort of suite of services without being constrained by some of those app store rules that we don't necessarily agree with. So yeah, so mobile is an important part, and not being caught up or constrained by some of the current sort of centralized controllers of that gateway is something that we really wanted to make sure we dealt with.
Great. I think from like my perspective, and the narrative that's obviously come to the fore, I think particularly in the last 12 months, is the need for sustainability in the space. You're obviously very fortunate that you essentially don't have to create sustainability beyond the fact that people can trade Forex and they can do it on chain, and the benefits that come with trading on chain. So, I mean, what do you think are the main benefits of trading on chain? I mean, and please, by all means, state the obvious, because what I'm just trying to establish is that, we generally, my perspective on this whole thing is that I think people generally have accepted it that, if I want to trade Forex, I've got to go to an exchange that's well known, and then, I've got to do my KYC, and then I can trade, on whatever brokerage that there is. But you're offering something that is exactly like that, and we'll actually take a look at, what it is that you guys have built for, everyone that's watching. And what do you think the main advantages are of trading on chain, particularly with Forex?
Well, I think it's self-custody, or self-sovereignty, and permissionless global access. They're the two ones. As a user, you maintain control of your funds. You remove the risk of third-party exchange, theft, loss, rugging, and so forth, or you certainly minimise it. And a lot of people don't have access to regulated or sort of controlled platforms to execute these types of whether it be the earn strategies or convert, etc. So it really is it provides open and free, permissionless, self-sovereign access to something that perhaps a lot of people in the first world take for granted.
Okay, and then obviously there's the KYC from you can obviously maintain, which I think is quite an important thing. I think what I found really interesting over the last 6 months particularly is that because people are kind of in this uncomfortable space, I almost get the feeling like they don't care about the fact that they have the ability to, first of all, be in a space which gives them the privacy, that gives them the self custody, and basic ownership of, what's theirs. And, when times are tough, it's kind of like easy to forget about that kind of stuff. But that's the reality of what it is that you guys are offering, is that, it's something and it doesn't have to be nefarious. It doesn't have to be, dishonest. It's just fundamental privacy, and some people don't want to go onto a central exchange. They don't want to go and give their KYC details. I find that as a major plus. And the fact that you can move money in and out of, the protocol as you see fit, without, having to jump through all the hoops that, traditional finance does. And, one of the big things about what it is that I believe DeFi should be doing is that we should be emulating essentially in many ways what's going on in the traditional finance world without all, the baggage that comes with it. And this is the problem, is that there's too much baggage that's come from the traditional finance world. And it's kind of like landed and, like we were saying before, it's like the institutions have arrived, but then along comes all that, that baggage that comes with it. And it's kind of like, well, do we really want that? No, we don't. And I think what you guys have built is basically saying, well, you can still trade this stuff, you can still be in on the pulse of it, but you don't have to subscribe to what's going on, with all the baggage.
Yeah, we shouldn't have invited them to the party in the first place.
Agreed. I agree with you. Yes.
I think KYC is a complicated topic. I think data is to me more relevant or more important. It comes down to self-sovereignty, and that's or self-control or self-custody. Self-custody of your financial assets and self-custody of your data. So when you KYC with a centralized exchange, you stand there, you take a picture of yourself, sign a piece of paper, and all of your data, as well as your funds, have to be transferred to that party. And there's a lot of risks in that. And to me, that's what DeFi, blockchain technology, brings some solutions to, and hopefully as some of this zero knowledge stuff grows, that will solve some of the data related issues as well around privacy, and yet perhaps maybe KYC might be an issue for some people, etc. But I think handing over data or handing over assets to a centralized party is a high risk activity, and the key value prop, in my opinion, is the ability for users to maintain sovereignty over their funds and not be subject to KYC or data handover related risks that exist with a centralized counterparty that, who knows how they store all of your personal information. Who knows what, they may get hacked for funds, but they also may get hacked for your data. And, that can cause just as much, if not more, risks to a lot of users having your data stolen from a centralized counterparty. So yeah, self-sovereignty of funds and data to me are really pretty special and unique and really important parts of this technology. And obviously you've got, we use Ethereum layer 2 Arbitrum, and that helps us solve some of the other problems that when we first started, people said you can't do FX on chain, it's too expensive, chain, on chain's too slow, how are you going to do oracles? There's a lot of challenges we've solved along the way, but as Ethereum scaling grows, those types of objections fall by the wayside, and more we get to deliver a, let's call it a traditional or Web 2 style product without, as you've sort of mentioned, some of the legacy issues and risks that exist in the current sort of centralized exchange or Web 2 world.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is what DeFi is there for. That's the fundamental, from my perspective anyways, is the fact that we do have the ability to protect that data and to protect ourselves from, all the stuff that's, unfolded from a privacy perspective over the last few years. And I really value that about DeFi. And I think that, it just can't be overstated enough. I think just moving on from that, Trooper, what is the other stuff that you guys have built on your app? So, I mean, you obviously have, so just walk us through this. I wonder if we shouldn't maybe bring up the app as well. Do you want to maybe share the app, and then we can just go kind of like into it?
Yeah, sure. I think it's shared now, is it?
There we go. So, I mean, you guys have done you guys have done some really interesting stuff, and I'll let you speak to it. But you don't just do forex trade. There's like a whole lot of stuff. Obviously, I mean, I wouldn't have expected anything less from you guys in light of what I've seen over the last, sort of 8 months or so. Is that you've built a whole lot of really cool additions to, and I say this with all due respect, just trading forex, because you guys have done a whole lot more. Can you just give us a little bit of a walkthrough in terms of what it is that you guys have done?
Well, so leveraged FX trading or trading forex is one part of what we allow users to do, but we see ourselves as a multi-currency stablecoin solution, a DeFi based multi-currency stablecoin solution. So what does that mean? That means a solution for you to borrow a non-US dollar in non-US dollars, a solution for you to easily convert spot stablecoins between asset A and asset stablecoin A and stablecoin B. Yes, forex trading as well is an important part of that, and also the ability for you to earn or generate returns on your funds without necessarily having US dollar or any currency exposure, which we'll talk about another time, which is part of the way we've constructed our core liquidity pool, which is called the handle liquidity pool, and that's the liquidity pool that is the counterparty to all of the FX and FX trading. So again, though, just trying to create a solution for users. DeFi is a complex space. It's fragmented. There's a lot of different data points out there. There's a lot of different protocols, but we really want to create a protocol and platform where a user can turn up in the morning, have a cup of coffee or a cup of tea or whatever they do, and just very quickly and easily assess where they're at, the state of their financial affairs, what assets they've got, what liabilities they've got, what type of returns they're generating on their farms or returns they're generating on their positions, what risks they've got, see it quickly and easily, and then scroll basically from that, dive in deeper and start to do some things. So you turn up in the morning, you have a quick shot of whiskey, and you then basically, have you made some money? Have you lost some money? Do you need to adjust your exposures? That's what this dashboard's designed to do. And users can see assets in wallets. They can see their vaults, which contain different types of currency debts. They can see their positions and a list of their transactions as well. And there's some, we do try to spend a lot of time on UI, UX, and there's some DeFi first stuff that we've built in here that's not actually even launched yet. So this is a Blockmates sort of scoop or exclusive, but we're building effectively a customized dashboard user experience to allow participants to very easily see their own bespoke position, what matters to them, and allow them to construct a dashboard that gives them the financial information they want. So early days yet, but you'll see here this particular dash contains a summary of ETH, the assets in my wallet, what Forex I've staked in our governance contract. Do I have any CDP collateral, which is ETH at the moment? No here. And what's the dollar value of the amount of Forex I've staked? But if users will be able to customize this so that they can see the data points that they want to see. Not interested in charts, take the chart out. Only want to see your total debt and your wallet assets, your collateral. Click done. Chart's gone. Not relevant data to you, Jedi, therefore you don't want to see it. What you want to know is how much you owe. Or you may want to know what your interest cost is per day, or what your Forex rewards are accruing per day. So that's the type of information that will allow a user to get a global, holistic view of their assets. From there, sorry, did you want to say something?
I was going to ask, is this only, so in terms of your dashboard itself, will you be able to pull from other protocols that information, or is it just going to be exclusively what it is that you guys have got on handle.fi?
Stay tuned. Initially, it will be handle and handle related stuff, but there could be some cool Blockmates related stuff with that too. So that this is lit pre-launch.
That will be huge. I mean, that will be huge, because just that alone, because at the end of the day, you obviously want, bums on seats, eyes on screen. And if you can attract users from that perspective, it's just going to land up benefiting you. You obviously know that you see the value proposition in what it is that you're doing from that perspective. And this is brilliant. I mean, can't wait to see where this goes.
Do see an opportunity to partner with a whole lot of protocols, provide an opportunity for them to display their data to our users as well, for our front end to actually interact with those particular protocols, and then it becomes a win-win situation where it's accretive for those protocols, it's accretive for us, it's good for Forex, and that sort of stuff. So that's really the bigger picture goal. But this is very much a pre-release, share.
Thank you for sharing
with the Blockmates guys.
It.
So I'll jump quickly through if I've got a minute. Obviously the capacity to borrow in a number of different currencies, whether it be Euro, US.
Sorry to cut you there. I just want to ask you, in terms of on-chain Forex right now, who is essentially out there that has done on-chain Forex? Essentially, who are your competitors at the moment?
Do I need to mention competitors?
Well, I'm just curious. Are there any? That's the reason why I'm asking.
It's emergent, and like the reality is, leveraged FX has not necessarily been done on chain until recently. There's probably one other protocol on Polygon called Gains protocol that are doing it and doing really well. And it's actually exciting for us, quite honestly, because the success of those guys really reflects the size of the opportunity that's in front of us.
Correct.
And I very much take the approach that, well, in TradFi there are many successful protocols or platforms that deliver FX trading, let's say, for example.
Correct.
So the success of Gains is absolutely fantastic because it makes more people aware of FX trading on chain. And the reality of this type of stuff is it's not a winner take all market, and therefore we just think that it's great that all kudos to them, and hopefully some of that opportunity, we think we've got some unique parts of our product offering that will attract different people, and some overlap too. So it's a great illustration of FX product market fit on chain, really. There's another couple other protocols that do some spot related stablecoin issuance, Angle protocol, and Jarvis, European protocols that do Euro stablecoin, and I know, and Jarvis does a whole lot of different stablecoins, not necessarily leveraged. Again, but it's still early days for all of those.
You see, the thing is, in my defense, in terms of asking you about your competitors, is that I think that there's something quite unique and quite awesome in terms of what it is that you guys have built, is the fact that you really are being mindful of the degens out there, which is obviously really important from a Blockmates perspective. We obviously love that kind of stuff. We joke about it. We joke about the degen aspect, but it's a very important aspect of what drives markets and what creates the interest. And the second part to this is that there's also a narrative that's being built at the moment around Arbitrum. There's this potential airdrop. Everyone is talking about it, and if people don't know about it, well, where the hell have you been? And Arbitrum right now is doing record numbers. They really are kind of pushing the envelope. We've chatted to the guys on a number of occasions, and it just seems like there really is a great opportunity for not only Arbitrum, but for protocols that have put like a really good product and a really good presentation in terms of what it is that they're doing. And as far as I'm concerned, you guys obviously fit that bill. And I think that it's just interesting to see, like from my understanding of it, is that Forex has never really been a big on-chain thing. Like I said early on, it's like everyone's kind of just like accepts that, I'm going to go to a brokerage and I'm going to do Forex trading. And I think what you guys are doing is it's obvious and it's something that needs to happen, but it hasn't quite hit home the same way that the derivatives market has done. And what you guys have done here is that you've also created the leveraged opportunity around Forex, which people obviously love. The degens love that. And yeah, I mean, just talk us through this. I mean, I love this UI. I think it's It's absolutely stunning. And I see that you've got 30x there, and that just gets me all excited. Really, it does. As a DJ. You're on mute, eh?
Sure. Yeah. Sorry. I'll quickly jump through this, and then I'll get into the leverage trade piece. But there's a lot of stuff we've done in the back end here for optimized routing around some of our stable coins. This is it's a $14 Ethereum conversion to our USD product, and standard sort of confo stuff. Transaction submitted. It's an Arbitrum transaction, but I actually didn't have to sign MetaMask here because we've done some integration around third-party Google abstraction of private keys. Anyway, so converted some assets across to fxUSD. You can see it here in the dash, and from the dashboard you can do a few things. You can send your fxUSD to other users. You can go back to convert, and you can convert it to another asset, or you can add it to our liquidity pool here, clicking on buy HLP and add it to the liquidity pool, which we won't talk about right now. But the liquidity pool is the pool that provides the that powers or provides the trading liquidity for our perps or leveraged trading part of the protocol, which is here. And yeah, you'll notice, oracles, fast oracles, we've done a lot of work around that. Happy to go into that in more depth, if required. But we wanted to create an environment where it was, as a trader, I've got 20 plus years as a trader. I think I know the important things that traders like to see. And over time, we're rolling out all of those features. But things like the capacity, for example, for a user just to, I want to own pound to USD, ape it in, click on the ape. I've got full size, max 30x against my available collateral. Click on buy, happy with the numbers, confirm, transaction submitted, and always in a live demo, transactions don't work. It's pretty standard. So in that particular case, I'm not sure what that issue is, but we'll have a look. The point is to make it very, very easy for people to execute trades. I'll just have another quick. I think I know what that issue was, so we'll just be two seconds.
No problem.
So let's just try this again. Let's just basically click on buy, confirm buy.
You're going long.
Sorry, I'm going long. Yeah, actually, I'll just I'll cancel out of that.
You're going long British pound, eh?
I'm going long $387 worth of pound, equivalent to 443 USD. And just little features like, if I want to actually switch and I want to be long 300 USD worth of pound, then we can just do easy ways to switch around our different the denominations we're entering orders. I'm using $10 worth of collateral at $30, so $10 worth of collateral at 30x leverage, and I've got an entry price of 114.64 with a liquidation price of 13.10 and cost of trade. Click on buy, confirm that. I'll sign this one in MetaMask. So that'll just, whilst that's popping up, click on confirm. And that's done. And I'm now long pound USD, your notional size of $300, collateral of a little bit under 10 after some fees. And, we can see the position going here with respect to live prices updating, and I know my P&L immediately.
So what I find really impressive is that it actually updates really quickly. I mean, it's pretty much real time, isn't it? I mean, it is real time.
Oh, it is real time, absolutely.
Yeah.
In order to protect the assets of the people that provide liquidity into HLP, that HLP has to be efficient in the way it prices assets. But you can see up the top here, there's $9.73 now trade equity, and so you're able to see quickly, your trade position back in the dashboard. You want to close a position, click on close, max, close. I'll sign that. Just signing that transaction, and done. Position closed. So it's a and obviously trades can then be listed trades, all the various trades we've done, and we're building out the data and the data reporting for the users to make it cleaner and clearer.
I was about to ask you that. Do you have that on hand? And clearly you are onto that. So
yeah, every day that reporting gets faster. And in this particular case, for this asset, you can see the total sum of open interest of traders on the protocol is 100% long. So they're either going to be all right or all wrong. And over time, we need to find ways to balance our exposures, long short exposures. But yeah, so that's that's a very quick walk through the trading capability. Users can trade Aussie, Euro, at the moment CAD, SGD, Yen should be available in a week or so. And from that point in time, we'll then, the real focus now is growing the liquidity to support that trading. And there's a lot of real positive feedback loops around that liquidity and that way that the HLP liquidity pool works. And yeah, so.
How are you guys? Yeah, thanks for that. I mean, it looks really good. It looks amazing, actually. How are you guys rewarding? Do you guys have like a staking element to what it is that you offer?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. So there's been a lot of focus on building the core functionality that we really want to work efficiently and really serve a user. Putting aside basically, some of the rewards based stuff. And this just in front of us here is, an example of the mobile the protocol available via your mobile. Users can easily see their assets, convert, same trade, and a summary of various assets and etc. So, and positions, there's no open positions here, but you will get a list of your trades as well. So this is the mobile experience, Jedi. Now, coming back to let's just see what this.
You've shrunk
it. Second. Yeah, I'm just going to make that. So the objective here is over time, more markets will grow and more charts and etc. will be available here. But as a user, you can just log on, flick through, see the state of the markets. Okay, Aussie, you've got a strong move. Aussie 63.74 up to 64.12. Do I want to be long? Do I want to be short? Etc. Do I want to be flat? And really just swipe across. Aussie US is sitting there ready to trade. I choose my collateral, ETH or whatever it may be. Enter. Okay, I want to buy. Click on buy. Confirm, and you've got to prepare and sign that transaction. And from there, MetaMask is a little bit slow. But this is obviously available via Wallet Connect and various other. So that's it. I'm now long Aussie US. You can see the position there. And
then you can go to the chart from here. Yeah.
Yeah, and I can edit my position. I can head back to the charts, and so there'll be a lot of trading related features that we'll roll out. Additionally. If I want to close my position, 1 click, 2 clicks, close. Sign, closed, gone, position shut. So, a trader's experience.
How fast Arbitrum is.
Okay. Really nice. Yeah, well, it is exactly. So, they've done a great job, and they certainly have been great support for us as well. So back to rewards. Yeah, so the token of the ecosystem is Forex. And over the coming weeks and months, we'll be rolling out pretty significant incentive programs around Forex to allow users to both stake and earn more with the Forex token. The centerpiece of the Forex ecosystem is VE Forex. Users stakes Forex for VE Forex. The longer they stake and lock Forex, the more VE Forex they will own, and the more VE Forex a user will own, the greater the rewards they'll get across the platform. Now, rewards can come in the form of liquidity provision on curve pools, which is currently, by the way, sitting at 34.89% for a US dollar stablecoin pool, fxUSD to USDC to USDT. And over time, we'll grow our Euro rewards. And in the next few days, you will see here an addition, and this addition here will be the handle liquidity pool, which will be open for staking from third-party users. And we'll be focusing very strongly on growing the liquidity in the handle liquidity pool, which powers or provides the liquidity for all of the Forex trading and swaps. So VE Forex is the centerpiece. And I'll just point out actually up the top here, you'll see this little number here, 40.65. Now, currently this particular wallet has earned 40.65 Forex rewards for all of its trade and convert activity. So what does that mean? That means at the moment, every time a user conducts a trade or an approved swap on the platform, let's switch some USD to pound. I want to, I'm going on a nice holiday across to the UK. Want some pound, and that's just being prepared for sign. I'll sign that transaction. That's done. Conversion done. I've now converted, 10 fxUSD across to 8.69 fxGBP. And this reward balance here will incrementally click up every time I do an approved transaction on the protocol. So I am getting a rebate or a reward for every time I do what we call a protocol accretive action. Want to buy some ETH? No problems. Click on buy. We're at 40.91. Let's see how this goes. And I'll touch very briefly on the rebate program after I've signed that I'm now long ETH, and you'll see that number has ticked up 43.19. Okay, so what does that mean? That means that right now, as part of our early growth strategy, we'll be offering probably up to 80% rebates on trades and certain converts. For blockmate users, we're actually going to be offering 100% trade rebate. The trade fees. So, so any referred users or blockmates users will be earning 100%. So, and users will be able to see that balance tick over up here, and those particular Forex are immediately claimable at any point. And what matters is really the more VE Forex a user owns, quite simply, the more staked Forex a user has, means the more VE Forex they own, the greater these rewards up here. Okay, the greater the percentage of rebates, the greater percentage of trader rewards and liquidity rewards.
Nice. That's awesome, man. And thank you for that.
I've made a quick 33 cents, 3.41. I want to brag to all my mates, share that with my friends.
Nice.
Off we go. So I'll just shut that trade down. 1, 2, well, that was the third click. Plus a sign, and that'll be done. And I'm now out of that position.
Very cool. I love it. It's seamless. I mean, and it looks good. It's really well done. Trooper, you guys have done a great job with this. And it does what it says on the box. I mean, that's all you want, really, and it does it seamlessly. So, I mean, you guys have delivered this thing. It's done now. Well, it's never done with you. I know I know that
there's a lot to do.
Yeah, there's always a lot to do. I mean, the product is essentially ready. You've got your referral program in place. We did speak about this before our interview. I mean, you're effectively, you guys are pretty much now ready to take on the market and to present what it is that you guys have built. Are you satisfied with where you are at this present moment in time, or are you not quite there yet? How are you feeling about what it is that you guys have created? You're still on mute.
Sorry, Judah. Well, you're never there, but we think we're at a point now where we can, grow. We're heading into the growth phase. Okay, we're moving from just a lot of sort of head down building to customer or user protocol user feedback. Protocol directed or user directed iteration. We've got a lot more products and markets to roll out. We've got as the liquidity grows in our HLP pool, that's going to drive more use to our stable coins, and they're all very much they feed nicely on one another. The more trading volume we have on the perps, the larger the amount of liquidity we have in the HLP. The more trading volume we have on the perps and the liquidity in the HLP, the greater the fees for HLP liquidity providers. The more liquidity we have in HLP, the more we can support FX token minting or issuance, which means more people will borrow assets in their local currency, which means the protocol will earn more money from stability fees. The more we have in the HLP, the more orders will be routed by third-party aggregators through the HLP, the more fees will be sort of generated by HLP and directed to the protocol and HLP stakers. So they all fit nicely together. We're now, we're out there and also the more liquidity in Forex will grow, and sort of coming back to VE Forex is going to be the centerpiece of that. So it's really just a matter of getting the word out there now, and hopefully people will, like what we built.
Yeah, I have no doubt that people will like what you guys have built. It looks great, so well done on that. I want to pretty much call it for now, but I want to just kind of like a heads up for for our viewers. I want to revisit in a month or so's time. I want to just revisit and get into what are the different layers to this thing in terms of the gamification aspect, the borrowing aspect, leverage and the perps and the rest of it. So we'll revisit this, kind of get into the more deeper side to what it is that can be done, from a trading perspective, and then also from a borrowing, minting and all that kind of stuff, and then also from a fee generation as well. I think there might be an opportunity for I mean, at what was it, 30% plus, on that curve pool. 38% was it? 36%?
Sitting at 34 at the moment. I mean, it's not a huge pool. It's not a huge pool, but we're basically, if people were to look at that curve pool, our utilization numbers relative to the size of the pool are always quite good, and that's something we're trying to work on, capital efficiency. Sometimes having a large pool with not necessarily much utilization is a bit of a waste of protocol resource. So the size of the pool related to the utilization is really important, and as utilization of the protocol grows, hopefully that pool size will grow and the rewards will be up to a point, continue to maintain, a good APY basically.
Yeah. I mean, I think that will be like an interesting discussion as well, as part of that, as a follow-up to, what we've chatted about today. And just for everyone out there, we did write, an introduction article to what Handle Finance is, and that's obviously why we're having this chat this morning, is that we just felt that, like, there's two reasons why we really we're interested in what the project had to offer. Is obviously the Forex side of it, because we haven't seen much of that, and secondly because there was more than just the Forex side. It was all the from a leverage perspective, and from a borrowing perspective. I think that that was really appealing from the DGen side of things, and that was why we dived in, and that's why you're here today. So yeah, dude, thanks so much for your time around that. And yeah, and well done for building like a really impressive protocol and product. And UI, I love the UI. I love Donkey Kong. I mean, that's very close to me as an old gamer. It's just like, it's so freaking cool, man. And yeah, thanks for coming on.
Thanks everybody, and thanks for having me, Jedi, and love the Blockmates crew and the Blockmates work, and we just really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us, and we'll keep building, and hopefully somebody want to come play with us, join the troop.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, thanks so much for the incentive that you are offering our community. We'll definitely take it to them, and we'll provide links at the bottom of this video. Everyone, don't forget, please like and subscribe. It means a lot to us, and it just allows us to be able to bring this content to you and more of it. So please just take the extra 5 seconds and do that. Cool. Thanks, everyone. Take it easy. See you out there. Cheers.